at Sand Hills Golf Club. Presently ranked 9th on Golf Digest's list of America's 100 greatest golf courses, is one of the most important courses ever built. Much of the state of Nebraska is a vast stretch of the Great Plains known as the Sand Hills, 19,000 square miles of ancient ocean bottom. Its dramatic peaks and valleys are pure sand. It's long been the perfect terrain for golf. All it lacked were golfers and golf courses. That changed in the early 1990s, when developer Dick Youngscap took an option on 8,000 acres of pasture south of Mullen and hired the team of Bill Corr and Ben Crenshaw to build a private 18 holes on a modest budget. As Youngscap said, they weren't designing a golf course, they were discovering one. This is Every Hole at Sand Hills Golf Club. The first hole plays almost due north, off a sand ridge into a valley below, to a twisting, tumbling fairway squeezed by bunkers in the landing area. The approach must be played to the back half of the putting surface, regardless of the flag location. Anything short will roll 50 yards back down the fairway or into a treacherous bunker on the right. Sand Hills' first hole is such a stunning opener that Golf Digest panelists once voted it one of the 99 greatest golf holes in America. From the back tee, the second is up over the crest of a hill, with only the flag faintly visible as a target. The member tee, well to the right, offers a clear view of the fairway, diagonal at this angle, with knobs and moguls here and there. From the fairway, a bunker seems right in front of the green, but that's an illusion. It's 60 yards short. The controversial green sits at the top of a gradual incline. It's hard to hold, right half being a plateau with steep slopes that reject shots, while the lower half of the green cants to the back. The view from behind the green is that of miles of prairie without a hint of civilization. One of the quirks at Sand Hills is that it only has 3 sets of tee markers, and on many holes only 2 tee boxes. On the par 3 third, average golfers play from the same tee as big hitters, 216 yards downhill, the first 100 yards over tall native grasses and a natural bunker, to a generous green nearly 50 yards deep, with a huge bulge along the left side of the putting surface. The green will play like a redan, kicking shots to the right off that left-hand bulge. At the downhill fourth, the fairway is enormously wide. This is the only man-made green on the course, a hillside slope reshaped into a shelf-type green reminiscent of the 5th and 17th at Prairie Dunes in Kansas. To the left of the green is an awesome natural bunker, one of many on the course called blowout bunkers, because gusty winds carve them from the sides of sand dunes. Those blowout bunkers set the template for all others built on the course by Corr and Crenshaw. They simply dug away at the faces of Sand Hills, left for a time, then returned to find the wind had produced wonderful jagged-edged hazards. Youngscap and the maintenance crew tried different methods to stabilize the sand: snow fence, wooden pallets, hay bales, even rubber tires. Then Corr suggested a product called soil tack, normally used for cart paths. It's now sprayed directly atop the sand in each bunker soon after closing day and forms a crust that prevents most winter wind erosion. 5 is a favorite hole of Corr and Crenshaw, who've written extensively about its qualities and nuances. Others of us consider it just a fine transition hole, but lacking in true strategy. The center bunker, about 250 yards out, was probably never really in play, and the entire left side of the fairway leaves a blind approach shot. The only real strategy is to hug the bunkers on the right off the tee to reach a flat lie and an unobstructed approach into the heart of this mostly flat green. 6 is the second par 3, and again short hitters are back with the big boys unless they choose to play from the 96-yard tee. Most of this boldly contoured green is visible from the tee, but a big blowout halfway to the green blocks view of the left portion of the putting surface. The green has a massive depression in the front left and a pronounced knob center left. The rest of the green rolls ever so gently towards the front. 7 is another hole with just 2 tee boxes, and if average golfers really want to experience the tempting thrill of driving a green on a par 4, they should opt for the forward tee at 231 yards. A layup tee shot to the heart of the wide fairway could well bound into bunkers on the right, so you might as well go for the green. But a long drive slightly left will drop into a 10-foot deep bunker left of the green, while a long drive to the right will race down a hill into a hollow 15 feet below the putting surface. You can play this hole 10 times and still not figure out the ideal way to play it. Contrary to popular assertion, the 8th at Sandhills was never intended to be a second consecutive drivable par 4. It was meant to be a drive and a pitch. While technology may have reduced the challenge for big hitters these days, it's still a wonderful two-shot hole for the rest of us. The general left-to-right flow of the fairway, posing a hanging lie for approach shots into the horseshoe-shaped green that has a pot bunker front and center, and 3 artfully shaped traps encircling the sides and back. The sharpest dogleg right on the course, from tees atop one hill to a fairway atop an even higher one. The 9th is mostly invisible from the tee, just a notch of fairway far left and a bunker beside it in view. And if one tries to cut the dogleg, it can result in an aggravating blind second shot behind a tall knob in the middle of the fairway. The approach must carry all the way to the green, as there are moguls in front right and a deep hollow at the front left of the green. A common criticism about the front 9 is that it seems to be a succession of short iron approach shots. That's never the complaint about the back 9. While the opening 9 measures just 3,370 yards par 35, the back 9 is longer, 3,703 yards par 37. Core and Crenshaw weren't seeking balanced 9s, they were seeking the best 18 holes they could find. The 10th is one of their finest discoveries. Downhill off the tee to a fairway that alternates between wide and narrow as it drops from level to level. Of all the holes at Sandhills, the 10th looks like something extracted from Scotland or Ireland. 11 is a dramatic par 4 that curves left around an enormous blowout bunker that's been there since the beginning. The fairway itself slants left to right for a time before rising to a high plateau green. There are random bunkers up the right side of the fairway and 4 more hidden from view along the left side of the green. The wind always affects putts on this exposed putting surface. 12 is my favorite on the course, partly because it reminds me structurally of the 11th at Pine Valley, my favorite on that course. The salient features an 80-yard wide fairway with a spine down its center, running tee to green. Left of the spine is a deep hollow of fairway from which the approach is totally blind. There's a deeper hollow about 100 yards from the green on the right, leaving a blind pitch over the trap. This is one of those holes where the longer one drives it, the worse the view for the second shot. "13 is another transitional hole, all uphill to a horizon green, what many call an infinity green these days. Youngscap considers it an outstanding par 3, well framed by bunkers. There is a prominent false front to this green, so hit more club than the yardage indicates. 14 is the rare par 5 that gives an average golfer a fighting chance of reaching the green in 2, even from the back tee. The tee shot is slightly downhill to a saddled fairway, but if long enough to bound past big bunkers on the left, a steep fairway slope will propel it forward another 50 yards or more. Ideally, the second shot is then played blind from the bottom of the deep fairway bowl, over a hillside bunker some 70 yards short and onto the tiniest green on the course. The topography of this hole is outstanding. On any other course, that bowl would be the bottom of a lake. Because the wind varies from all 4 directions, sometimes 2 or more directions in the same day, Sandhills does not handicap its holes on the scorecard. If it did, I'm guessing the brutal 15th would be the number 1 handicap. The fairway wraps around a wide diagonal bunker on the right, then rises and falls twice more before reaching a hilltop green that's tucked behind a nasty, shaggy blowout on the left, one that often hides a view of the flag. The first 25 feet of the green slopes severely to the front, and the back of the green is propped above a chipping hollow. 16 is a front-loaded par 5 with trouble off the tee and on the second shot, but no sand close to the green. From the back tee, the drive is a bite what you dare gamble over the corner of a mammoth bunker complex, long enough and deep enough to hide a cattle truck, to a diagonal fairway that slopes away from left to right. The fairway then becomes a succession of crests and hollows, each ridgeline containing a bunker, each swale containing a blind spot. Once past the last bunker complex on the left, it's a valley of smooth sailing over gentle ripples of fairway to a green emerging from a hillside on the left. The green side itself slants noticeably left to right. Described as both indomitable and by names unprintable, 17, the shortest hole on the course, is perhaps the most demanding, with a tiny 3,200 square foot oval perched green surrounded by deep bunkers. It demands a high tee shot that's at the mercy of the wind. There's no bouncing a ball onto the 17th. Aim for the center, regardless of the hole location, to take those bunkers out of play. As with the opening hole, Golf Digest panelists voted the 18th as one of the 99 greatest holes in the country. The tee shot is much like that at 16, a carry over a massive diagonal bunker to a half-hidden target, but this time the fairway is a twisting, turning roller coaster that climbs to the green, past a second diagonal blowout bunker on the left, to a punch bowl pinched in front by dunes and recessed in back within a hillside. Other than the refined carpeted turf grass, this hole is just as it was when the site was first discovered. The same can be said of every hole at Sandhills. The clubhouse is a mile away, over a hill and down a valley beside the Dismal River, along with some 28 lodging units. The only building visible from the course is a tiny snack shop above the 9th green, dubbed Ben's Porch in honor of Mr. Crenshaw, who won his second Masters Championship just months before the course first opened in June 1995. Sandhills was just Corin Crenshaw's third design, but it established a model they have subsequently followed. Work with the land, and if some part is deficient, move only enough earth to imitate something natural. But I think the true legacy of Sandhills Golf Club is Young's cap. He rode herd on the spread from the beginning and established that golf in a remote locale can be economically feasible. Without the success of Sandhills, none of the other golf operations in the Great Plains would have been attempted. No Dismal River Club, no Ballyneal, Prairie Club, or Sutton Bay. In fact, without Sandhills, it's doubtful Bandon Dunes would have happened, or Stream Song, Sand Valley, or Cabot Resort. Sandhills Golf Club was the inspiration for them all.